Hi, I'm Craig Phillips and today I'm going to show you how to construct your own wooden frame raised bed garden. We're using simple and basic materials. It's tantalised timber for outside. It's 100mm wide by 20mm deep. Now the size of the frame I'm constructing today is 1200mm square. Of course you can create it any size and length that you choose, but it's all held together by basic corner joints. We've got a crossover joint method, which is simple cuts, no drilling and no screwing. And the tools you're going to require is a handsaw, a 10-inch saw, a set square, tape measuring pencils, some clamps, chisels or a multi-tool. Now the first stage is to cut your timbers down to length. Now my frame is going to be 1200mm square, so I'll put a mark here. Using my set square, square that off. And then I'm going to clamp it down, make it a bit easier and safer to cut. And using my handsaw, I'll start to cut the lengths down. Now to create the strength in the corners of our frame, we're going to have to achieve an interlocking crossover joint. And we do this by measuring up from the one end of the timber just 40mm. And then what we're going to do is cut out two 20mm notches from either side. The reason it's 20mm because that's the width of the timber. That way they will start to stack and interlock on the corners and create that strength. So we're going to make two marks on the wood ready to cut. First at 40mm and then the next one at 60, where we're going to cut out that 20mm notch. I'm taking my set square, I'll transfer that level across to the opposite side. And I'll measure in 20mm. Square that off. And then transfer that mark around the timber to make sure it's nice and square. On the opposite side, measure it 20mm in. So now we have our 20mm square on each side ready to cut out. I'm going to use a workbench, clamp it into position to hold it nice and secure. And using my 10-inch saw, start to cut down the marks. Same again the opposite side. Once you've cut down both sides at 20mm, you can then start to notch out the square using your chisel. Placing your chisel along your pencil line, holding it upright, using your mallet, just gently tapping it down, should take your square out. Same again the opposite side. Perfect. So now we've got the one section with two 20mm square bits notched out. We do the same on the opposite side, and then that's one length done. Of course, you continue that on the rest of your lengths, and then you can start interlocking the corners. There's also another way of cutting the square notches out by using a multi-tool. We've marked it up the same as we have done if we were using a chisel. We've got a flat blade in for cutting timber. We line it up. Place the blade of the multi-tool directly on your mark. Slowly start to press down, letting the blade and the multi-tool do the work. Now cutting the timber from the side, place the blade on an angle to the corner, start to work it up till the multi-tool is square and slowly apply pressure downwards. So now our square notch should come out nice and clean. So now you've got all your lengths cut and your squares notched out, you can start to interlock the corners together. Once you've got the first four interlocked, you can see it's created your square shape. You can then get your next one and start to stagger them joints. Now always remember to use tantalised timber for any work outside, and given time the joints will swell up and become stronger. Now the height of the walls on your raised bed garden can be anything you choose. I've decided to have 3 full ones, but the nature of these interlocking on the corners, we're left with an uneven finish on here. We've got a smaller gap this side and that side, and of course on the underside here. So what we can do is get our standard length that we've already cut down to size. We've got our notches cut out. We're going to cut that right the way down the centre, which will leave us a piece like this, and it'll allow us to slide the notches onto the corner and create a more flush, stronger finish. Now that's your structure complete. If you'd like to see how to plant these gardens up, follow the link to Katie Rushworth's video. And if you want to see more DIY videos, please visit the website silverlinetools.com.